First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. When time permits, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. This YouTube channel over the past few years has become something of a time-consuming hobby. And that's mostly because it is adjacent to my main hobby, which my wife will tell you I spend too much time on. And that is my motorcycles. I spend a not insignificant amount of time riding my bikes, working on my bikes, camping off my bikes, buying bikes, selling bikes. Essentially, my hobby is motorcycles. So if I'm going to have another hobby right now, it needs to be adjacent. And that's what YouTube has been for me. Now, I can see how that may come across as a complaint, but I don't mean that in any way. I absolutely love creating YouTube videos about my motorcycle, about my adventures on my motorcycle, working on my motorcycle, and most importantly, going places and meeting people on my motorcycle. I really love recording it, capturing it, and keeping it, and indeed sharing it with all of you. Perhaps I should take a moment or two to explain how I got here, however. My purchase of an action camera wasn't for my motorcycle. At the time, I was doing quite a bit of diving, scuba diving, tanks, masks, everything. And I really wanted to capture some of that. Not to put it on YouTube, but to just look back at it. Diving isn't something I would get to do every weekend, and I really missed it when I wasn't doing it, and I thought, I see people with cameras, I should record some of this. So I went on and I purchased a GoPro Hero 5. And the timing was perfect because the first dive after getting that camera, we ended up surrounded by sharks. And I got what is arguably the most exciting footage I'll ever get. Not long after getting that camera, I did get back into motorcycles. I had been away for 30 years. Skiing, kayaking, hiking, scuba diving, traveling, everything else got in the way, motorcycles off to the side. And when I got back to it, I thought, why don't I record a little bit of it? So I took the camera, it came with a mount that went on handlebars, and I recorded a few different bikes that I had. Nothing other than up front, down the road, looked at them afterwards, didn't keep many of them. I certainly wasn't going to upload it anywhere. After a year or so with that, I actually found Facebook, something I really didn't care for, but I found a use for it, I should say. I found we had a local group of dual sport riders, and I posted on there, hey, I'm going to Grafton, does anybody want to come? And the next thing I knew, I was going on a group ride with, I think, 6 different guys. And I thought, this is the perfect opportunity to bring that camera back out. So I put the camera on the bike, and throughout that ride, which lasted 8.5 hours, it was awesome. I turned the camera on periodically, primarily when one of us was stuck in the mud. And going over the footage, I think I was stuck in the mud the most, which makes a lot of sense for anyone who's seen my channel. Once I had that footage, I looked at it, I realized I was having a lot of fun, and I really liked having the footage. And I did upload that to my personal YouTube, sent out emails to the other guys, let them see how our day was from my very limited perspective. And I decided I should really do this. So back onto the bike went the camera. Eventually I did go with a helmet mount and a microphone. And that was pretty problematic because unfortunately I knew absolutely nothing about editing video, and I knew even less about editing audio. So I turned out about 200 videos of the worst peaking, scratchy, horrendous audio that has ever been uploaded to YouTube. Well, we're back to the rocks. Now, fortunately, for the masses, I've hidden all of those videos. And I think that Stuart and Tim are probably the only 2 people that watched enough of them to be truly scarred by that audio. Now, I would like to say that the channel has evolved over the 2.5 years, but perhaps changed is more accurate of a description. I stopped entirely recording dual sport rides. I had felt that when I hit like 200 that, well, I've seen that enough. I don't need to see it anymore, and I'm certainly sure that no one else needs to see any more of those. And I started doing things more like you see today. More of my travels, more distance, more camping, more putting Farkles on the bike, more trying to fix the bike. A couple of motovlogs have shown up here and there, and more recently things here in my office. I have realized, however, that I have not, in the past 2.5 years, with 2,500 people subscribing and hundreds of thousands of views, taken into consideration, what do you want? I recognize that behind every view, every like, every comment, every click on my Amazon affiliate link is a person with a job, a person with responsibilities, a person with hobbies of their own, and yet they take their time, their very valuable time, and they spend some of it here with me on my hobby. And I cannot help but appreciate that. You people, you folks, you motorcycle enthusiasts are the ones that have given me the most from my hobby. So, one final time, what do you want to see? Please go ahead, comment below, find me on Instagram, email me at oneoldmanriding@gmail.com. I'm incredibly interested in what I can give back to you. All right, if you stuck around this long, I really can't believe it. I sincerely appreciate it, and take care.
Jesus, I don't think you can find any more rocks. Jesus Christ!
You like rocks, huh?
That's the most rocks I've ever been on!